just come out of hospital and you've had an heart attack, right, and you've had angioplasty, a stent, or you've had bypass surgery, right, I hope you're doing well, by the way. Great, I hope you're doing well. This is a channel to be at for all little tips, right? Information is key, right? So what you've got to do is not be in stress. You've got to work at not being in stress, right? For instance, your loved ones around you, right? Do stuff with them, take them out, go out with them, right? Go watch a football match, go watch the rugby, go watch the Formula One. Keep yourself out of stress. Take your mind, take control of your mind. Really, really important. Done so much for me. Meditation. Never ever thought I'd say that, especially on camera. Done so much for me. Taking control of the mind. You can put the stress out immediately if you. The mind, I can't say enough about it. Once you learn, right? I highly, highly recommend the David Silver method. Highly recommend it. Fantastic. Which is more mind control rather than meditation. That's a system I do. I highly recommend it. It's a David Silver's method of mind control. Absolutely done wonders for me, guys. If you want to turn that system off, if you feel like you might be under stress after what I've said, right, it's the sympathetic nervous system. It's entwined with a very complex system of hormones that bring about actual physical stresses into your body and bring about the production of atheroma plaque, because it's all done under high blood pressure, of course. When the sympathetic nervous system kicks in, fight or flight, your blood pressure goes up immediately. All those clotting factors appear in the bloodstream, which, like I've said, fibrinogen, LPA1, which starts its life as LDL, the Dark Lord, cholesterol, low density lipoprotein, very low density lipoprotein, which is another cholesterol, which is another clotting factor. You can see where I'm going with this, can't you? Von Willebrand's factor, various fibrinogen. All the clotting factors are in your bloodstream. You're running high insulin levels because you're becoming insulin resistant, and it's all done under pressure. So your arteries are taking a lot of damage in certain places, possibly at bifurcations where it's the weakest link, possibly at bifurcations, right? So like I said, keep yourself out of stress, right? Learn how to manage the stress, right? Exercise is fantastic because it benefits you in so many ways, which I'll talk about in depth as we go along with the videos. I like to think I've covered it all. Yeah, it's all done on high blood pressure and great stuff. I hope that helps you. It's the alternative system, right? It's the alternative system to heart attack. It's obviously it's nothing to do with the cholesterol hypotheses, which I've never believed to this day. I think it's all nonsense. You know, I poke holes in it everywhere. It's not for me. I don't practice that one bit. You know, for me, this is what brings about heart attack. It's a dysfunction on the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal glands system, the axis. It's linked with the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. If it makes it a little bit easier to understand, when you're in sympathetic, the saliva in your mouth will dry up, your heart rate will increase, your pulse will increase, the clotting factors will turn up. You will not produce proteolytic enzymes or insulin by the pancreas, right? Digestion is completely out of the question. Oh, that rhymed that did, didn't it? Digestion is out of the question, right? You know what? It'd be like giving Anthony Joshua a pork pie in between rounds with his fight with Klitschko, wouldn't it? He would not be able to eat it. I'm telling you guys, he's in fight or flight. I mean, obviously, you know what he's going to do. He's going to try and knock somebody's head off, and the other guy is going to try and knock his head off. His pupils are dilated, right? And that is about it, actually, right? He couldn't eat a pork pie in between rounds for them many, many reasons. All the blood is in the major muscles of the legs and the arms, and in his case he's going to use his arms and his shoulders, right? He's not going to run away, he's going to stand and slug it out with another boxer, right? He's under high blood pressure, and that's the sympathetic nervous system in action, right? That's the very system I'm on about. Like I say, it works through the hypothalamus and the pituitary work together, and then they send messages to the adrenals as to just which hormones are going to be released. Whether you're going to sit down for a leisurely meal like the French do, right, where you're going to produce lots of growth hormone and you're going to produce insulin to digest your food, and the pancreas and the digestive systems are all going to be full of blood, as opposed to Anthony Joshua and his digestive systems are not functioning at all, right? Now, if you can imagine, if you're in stress, right, and you're at the factory, let's supposing you're at the factory and the boss is on your back and the boss is telling you he'd like you to work your dinner break, so you're going to nip in a quick snack and a quick sausage roll while you're working. Well, that's exactly the system you're on about. You're in stress. It's a stress-related system. Only you can sit there and work it out. And if you sit there and reflect, and now you've got time, if you just come out of hospital, guys, and I hope you're doing well, by the way, if you just sit there for 5 minutes or 10 minutes when the house is empty, you got it to yourself, you got no wife around you or no girlfriend, just you and your reflections. You reflect how many times you were in stress and you were trying to eat in stress, and the two absolutely do not go together, and that's the reason. Now, only you can work that out. It's a very interesting theory, and like I say, you'll hear it called Syndrome X, metabolic syndrome. For me, it's directly related to type 2 diabetes as well, right? I understood it. Sooner I came across it, I understood it, I thought, yeah, defo, because like I said, I never ever, the cholesterol thing just don't float for me, it don't work, it's just nonsense. Something called bad cholesterol. Cholesterol is so important, it has its own transport system. Can you imagine the Queen coming here to my gym, my garden shed? She'd have her own transport system, wouldn't her, of Rolls Royce Phantoms with bulletproof glass and bodyguards and Prince Philip by her side. She has her own transport system. It's so important. The Queen is so important, she has her own. Can you imagine Donald Trump, the new President of America, coming here to my garden shed? Should I be lucky, with a visit from Mr. Donald Trump, the President of America. The most powerful man in America is going to come here. I can tell you for a fact he'd have at least 10 bulletproof Cadillac Brogans, and he'd have his team of CIA bodyguards by his side, wouldn't he? He'd have his own transport system. And if they picked him up from the local airport, he'd come in Air Force One, wouldn't he? His own transport system. You get the picture. Cholesterol is so important. It's transported around your body by lipoproteins, right? And like I said before, when you analyse cholesterol, the building blocks of cholesterol are nitrogen, sulfur and phosphorus. There's no fat inside. I've never found the fat yet. You know, even the atoms look completely different from any fat atoms. It's quite ridiculous, that system. Now, guys, I hope that's food for thought. I certainly hope you go away and think about that one. How stress becomes damaging to your system when the stress system is not turned off, is really not reset and turned off. and how that brings about the damage under high blood pressure and all the rubbish that's running around in your bloodstream, damage the arteries. Yeah. Thank you for listening. Look out for more videos. It's a pleasure to do them. Like I say, not telling you to come off drugs, talking about drugs, talking about side effects. We're always going to be talking about statins. They're a major talking point and very interesting to talk about. And if you've got any questions, feel free to contact me by email. That is not a problem, and I certainly hope you are doing something about your rehabilitation, because I'll tell you this, your heart likes exercise. It responds to exercise, and your body and your mind respond to exercise, and they turn off any stresses that may have been there. It's a reset button. Thank you for listening. Look after it. You've only got one. Thank you.